Good morning, chemistry team. So this is what I can leave with you for your use next year to get started with your students using the Pearson echem book. Remember, this is a digital book. It is not an iBook, and it is not an app. It's truly just a digital book that's accessed through a web browser. So the first thing that you have to do, and you do this before your students do, is you log into successnetplus.com. When you get into that login, when you, put that into your address bar, then you can either log in if you remember your, hopefully you remember your login from this year because you guys all have one. Should be your net ID. New users, any teachers that are new and don't have a login, they can create their own login by just clicking register here. And then they'll choose whether they're teachers or whatever. Okay? Now notice, students, it would be so nice if students could just sign up themselves, but they cannot. Note, students, registered teachers will provide usernames and passwords. And this is the bane of using this tool. Okay? So you as a teacher have to have a registration, which most of you do. Okay? And then you have to either manually put your students in, or I'll show you the process that I used this year that you too can do to do a batch upload of your students into SuccessNet Plus so that you create their usernames and passwords. Also, maybe one of you want to register as an administrator, or maybe Linda next year will want to register as an administrator. And so to have rights and to help you in the back end, which is what I did this year. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to go back because I already have my login. So I will log into SuccessNet with my net ID. Once I'm signed in, I can see that I have one class. That's what comes up is on the home screen is your classes, and that's a class I named Test. You'll need to create classes. My recommendation for you is to do the following, and that is to come up here to Setup and use the Setup Wizards. And do follow this. Do what it says. Check your settings. And there's a PDF quick start guide if you like to, if you want to save that PDF and actually read through it before you begin doing this. You're going to add the product, and if you didn't already add it this year, which is the echem book. And this is where you create your classes. So I'm going to go to this right now. And I'll create a phony class, so I'll call it 2015 Chemistry. And then you select the product, and it's the Pearson Chem book. The district, as you can see, owns the French and then this Chem book. I don't know what this Foundations is. Then you click your Manage Enrollments. Be patient. Oh, and here's a tutorial as well, you guys. And you really might want to watch that too. Come on, Manage Enrollments. All right. Here's the scoop. You can create new students one by one, you know, typing in their names, and if all else fails, this is what you'll want to do. Go back to the old manual way, okay? But you can also, what I do is I imported students. And so see where it says choose CSV file? I went to your Teacher Logic gradebook, okay, to the roster list, and then I downloaded that roster list as a CSV file. You can do that in Teacher Logic. So that's what I did. I logged into each of your Teacher Logic classes and downloaded your gradebook. All right, and then I created the CSV file, and then I went and I chose your CSV file and did the import. And then I ran into bundles of trouble. And that's where I ended up having to, and I'm not going to do this for you because I'm not even finding any CSV files right now. But this is where, let's see, parent export code, bulk user template. Oh, right, here's Collins. Here's one of Collins's. Okay, all right. So this must have been one of his downloads from his gradebook. Yeah, it was in October when we were working on this before. Okay, so, and then I would say, all right, save and return. And then it's going to tell you that it's processing your request. This is really common, all right? And I found that I had to futz and futz and futz with it. And then eventually I had to send my CSV files to Pearson. And then they actually did the file imports on their end. Okay? So all of that probably to tell you that your best way of going about this, unfortunately, is probably going to create new I can't tell if it's just slow or create new. There we go. Didn't take the click. And student by student putting in anything that's red. So, you know, and maybe you can have your division assistant do this for you. First name, last name, give that student a username and a password, and then you'll need to make sure that you give those usernames and passwords to the kids. All right? So, I think that's going to be your best route, you guys. Sorry for the diversion, but I remember I just spent so much time with Pearson Tech Support on this one. They found some leading, I think, inputted leading blanks and the whole 9 yards. So it was just crazy. All right, so I'm going to cancel out of this. All right, so I think your best bet is to create new students and maybe have the div heads do that. I'm going to cancel. All right. And you'll be able to, when you go to your classes then, you'll be able to see what the students are seeing in the book and so forth by going to student view, and then you'll have your own teacher view in the whole 9 yards, okay? So I hope that helped you, and you know, the teachers are going to be, the students are going to be accessing this on the Puffin browser, because remember there's a lot of flash files embedded on the Puffin browser, and that will be off of their iPads. All right, have a great year.